Hello and welcome to the fifth installment of the Learning Guitar series. So when it comes to arpeggios here, first of all remember this is your root note, okay? It's important that you visualize that. That's why this is a G. That's a D, that's a G note. That's another root note, okay? So this is root fifth, root third, okay? That's A flat, that's A flat, that's A, B flat, B flat, B, C, C sharp, okay? So let's have a quick look at the theory of it, as usual, and then I'll show you some practice and what's on the PDF that is coming with the lesson. Let's have a quick look at, some of the information we can find within this particular cage of form. First of all, we're discussing the shape of D. Here is the shape of D, okay? Root fifth, root third. Looks like a D chord with some degree of a barré if you want. These are some of the intervals within. These are the ones that we can use in order to build arpeggios or vertical stretchers. We know that when we're discussing a vertical stretcher for an Ionian, what we're looking at is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. And if we look within this particular shape, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 available to you. The 13 will be in the next cage. And when we study the next form, we will create that connection. Of course, the arpeggio also extends on the E string and on the A string. And when we looked at the caged kind of arpeggio, we will include those notes. But as you remember, it's also good that we practice from root as we're training our ears in the process. So in this contest, we're going to be building and practicing triad 1, 3, 5, major 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, major 6, 1, 3, 5, 6, major 7, 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These are intervals, by the way, right? Major 6, 9, 1, 3, 5, 6, 9. Major added 9, 1, 3, 5, 9. We're going to look at the major 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. We're going to look at the modal arpeggio, obviously, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. In order to develop the major arpeggio within the shape of D, we will use a combination of E shape and D shape. In fact, we're going to perform it this way, where the first octave, the 1, 3, 5, 7, will happen in the E shape, while the 9, 11, and 13 and root note will happen in the D shape. So we're actually creating, as you can see, a connection between the two shapes. Last but not least, we will study the gauge system arpeggio. So now we are using all the strings on the guitar, starting from the third, because that's available to us. 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3. So we're looking at a major 7 arpeggio. So just to recap, this is our chord shape, and these are the intervals available to us in order to build triad 1, 3, 5, major 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, major 6, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 6, 9, 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, added 9, 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay, now let's look at the PDF. So here is the PDF I compiled for the D-shape major arpeggios. It's structured pretty much like the way the PDF in lesson 2 for the E major arpeggios was structured. Here you have the 1 octave, so triads, major 7, 6, 9, 6, 9, added 9, 11. And as you can see here, I wrote the following arpeggios and exercises use both shapes of E and D in order to achieve 2 octaves. Because when we're starting from the root, in the shape of D, we only actually have 1 octave we can work from the root. So we have the 2 octaves arpeggios, and these are good in terms of practice because you're actually connecting the two shapes you studied so far, which means you're moving on the neck. Then you have the alternating and the exercise for 2 octaves. Then the harmonized modal arpeggio finally, we have the arpeggio, the major 7 arpeggio applied to the cage system. So now we're using all the strings. And we studied in group of 3, group of 4. Like we did in lesson 4, now we're starting to connect vertically shapes. So in this case, we're studying a sequence which goes from shape of E, in this case A flat major, to shape of D, in this case F. Okay, and I created an exercise that moves chromatically. So we're going A flat major, F major, A major, F sharp major, B flat major, and we continue transposing in all keys. This way we get to create some photographic memory in terms of understanding where all the keys are on the guitar. The second exercise has got pretty much the same function. In this case, we are starting from a shape of D, so we're using F major 7. We're moving to a shape of E, B flat major 7. Then we are back to a shape of D, G major. So basically this way we're going across many keys, okay, and all across the neck, which is also important. The last exercise is to show you how we can actually finger the same arpeggio in different ways, okay, and you will find whatever you find more comfortable given your approach to the guitar. Okay, let's look at some practice now. And obviously all this should be done to a metronome. We discussed this before. I think playing 8 notes at, I don't know, 80, 70 BPM, 90 BPM, 100 BPM. Really depends on how fluent you are. And, you might want to speed up things gradually. Don't forget, you're trying to build muscle memory and photographic memory first. So the PDF here, first of all, we have the 1 octave arpeggios. So let's start in G. Okay, the way I would do it is, that's the ascending. So basically that's exercise 1 applied to the triad arpeggio. Exercise 2 will be the descending version of it. Don't forget to kind of try and tell you what is it that you are. What I mean is, like, this is the root note right now. So this is A, okay? G sharp, G, F, F sharp. The third example, so the third exercise, still applied to the same triad, is the alternating one. So you're going down and away, up, down, up, okay? As I say, please, it's very important before this becomes just muscle memory that you kind of tell yourself where you are for photographic memory, so that you remember the keys. What you don't want to do is, not being aware that this is A, for example, okay, or that this is B, or that this is D, okay? And obviously, that's the chord, right? The second arpeggio is the G major 7 one, and again, the routine is the same, so that's the arpeggio. I'm doing it only once before moving up and down the neck. Obviously, if you've never practiced these arpeggios before, you'll find it difficult. Maybe you repeat the same thing twice or 4 times. So 4 times would be like this. And then you move chromatically, okay? That gives you also the time to figure out what chord you're playing. So this is A major 7, right? B flat major 7. B major 7. And so forth and so on. these are interesting also because, of course, beside learning the arpeggios, you're actually practicing string skipping at the same time. Because obviously, you're doing this kind of not too easy, but it's good to practice string skipping, and you're applying it already to something that is musical as opposed to do an exercise just for string skipping. Okay. Same thing can be said for the descending version. That's G, G sharp, A, and that's F. Okay? Then we have the major 6. Actually, before I forget, then you have the alternating, actually, major 7 alternated. In terms of right hand, at this stage, at least when you're practicing, you might want to still do everything in alternate picking if you can before you try and apply sweep picking or forms of legato. Okay, at least as I say, like we're practicing rather slowly, so why not? Major 6. Careful to this, by the way. So it's the same finger kind of working. You can think of doing that if you want. Okay. Again, one direction, backwards. And alternate. Up and down. Major 7-9. That's the one. Be careful to this one because it's got 5 notes, obviously, right? And it's obviously a much wider string skipping exercise because you're moving from the last string to the 4th string, okay? And of course backwards. That's not easy, right? In a way, this is more of an exercise because I don't know how many times musically you will kind of phrase yourself this way. But nevertheless, it's still worth doing it, okay? And while probably the alternating version is much more used in a way. That's still major 7, okay? Sorry, major 9. And 6-9. That's the 6, that's the 9. Again, you can do it your first finger, so this becomes a little bit easier, or same finger, and then you jump back. Of course, in terms of doing this faster, probably this solution is better, but again, you'll see what works for you in a way, okay? Backwards. Alternated. These alternated one are very useful, okay? Not because we're going to play something like that, but the fact that we're alternating within our pages when we're playing, okay? Other 9. So first 3, 5, 9, and this is F, obviously. All the way up. All the way up. And the alternative version. What have we got? Major 11. Let's do it in a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay? Probably, if you want, again, you can practice it this way. Why not? It's a good exercise. And same thing backwards. Again, you could use this finger to barre, the little barre for the major 7 and the 5th, or use your pinky. Whatever. Again, some people likes to play with more with 3 fingers as opposed to 4. Whatever works for you. And of course the alternative version. Then we have the G major 13, so like the Ionian arpeggio. And for this, as I said in the theory, we're going to use part of the, let's say we do it in G, we're going to use part from the E shape and part from the D shape. So 1, 3, 5, 7, we're actually borrowing it from the E shape. And then 9, because that's a 2, 11, 13, and root note, we're taking it from D shape. In fact, this is basically contained in the same cage. It's 2, 4, and 6, if you want to look at it from the point of view of the scale. Second octave, compound octave, 2, 4, and 6 become 9, 11, and 13. So basically, you end up with this. And it's nice because it kind of connects diagonally the 2 shapes, which is a good thing. So, again, practice slowly. This is the full Ionian arpeggio. So in this case it's C, right? Next we have the 2 octaves, and the 2 octaves arpeggios, we are actually combined the 2 shapes. Okay, we're borrowing the first octave from the shape we studied already, and of course, you know, we could stay in shape, but it's, as I said, it's good to practice horizontally. So the triads in shape of E would have been this, and now we're looking at okay, and you could do the same backward. Two ways you can approach this from the point of view of fingerings, probably more than 2, but you could have a little barre here, and then, or literally use the same finger pattern and just shift. Okay. There is no right and wrong as far as I'm concerned. In terms of then end up playing 3 octaves of it, and you'll see in the next, nonetheless, lesson, probably 2 lessons from now. They can be both useful, okay? This is the alternative version. I don't mind trying both when I'm practicing, to be honest. So major 7, we're connecting again, shape of E major 7 with shape of D major 7, okay? That's A flat, right? A. B flat, right? B. C. And then you have major 6, major 9, major 6. Major, all of them, you know, 7, 9. I think by now you got the gist of what the 2 octaves arpeggio are like, so maybe no point of me going through all of them. Let me see. Now we have the page 2, the harmonized Ionian modal arpeggio. Harmonized means we are extracting the chords. Don't worry about the theory of it at the moment. We're going to study it much later on. But it's a good exercise to do and will come handy. So basically we're doing a group of 4. Over the modal arpeggio that we studied before we studied the modal arpeggio. Right? Okay, that's in page 1. Now we're playing 4 notes at a time. And it sounds like this. That's A flat. B flat. And again, guitar. So the next exercises are applied to the cage system approach to arpeggios. So in this case, instead of starting from root, like we did in the first pages, the arpeggios, which I said is a very good thing to do for ear training purposes, so don't skip it. That's my suggestion, okay? The cage system, we are exploiting all the strings, okay? So in this case, let's say we're working in G. Our arpeggio starts here from the third, as opposed to in the root. So we have 3, 5, 1, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3. This particular arpeggio poses a couple of, not problems, but like, things that we need to ask ourselves how we're going to deal with it. First of all, this transition. If we're going to slide here, or maybe we're going to approach it with a third finger, so that gives us space for the pinky to play that. So you can have it this way, or with a slide. Personally, I prefer the slide, but for the simple reason that then I can extend further. Okay, so and when we do the next form, which is going to be C major form, you see that in action in a way. But nevertheless, there is no right or wrong. The practice itself, again, basically we're moving chromatically. Don't forget to tell yourself what you're playing. That was A, okay? That's B flat. B, C, C sharp, D. Okay? So the next exercise is the last on page 2, and is basically the caged arpeggio performed in group of 3. By that I mean group of 3 notes at a time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? And descending. Couple of points here is how you want to negotiate the transition from this part and this part. You could use your third finger, so that leaves the fourth finger free to reach this fret, or you can slide. I tend to slide after the pinky, so after that. Page 3, you have the same kind of approach, but a group of 4 notes at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, page 3, you have a series of exercises designed to facilitate the vertical transition in between shapes. Basically, exercise 1, what you're dealing with is going down with the caged arpeggio for an E shape, so in this case A flat, then coming up in F major. So now you're using the new shape you just learned, and it kind of looks like this. Okay, and you can actually cycle that if you want. Okay, and this particular exercise, in order for you to actually move across the neck, instead of cycling it, so instead of doing this, I went to A. So you're coming back, you're doing F again, A. So you have now F sharp, ascending F sharp, B flat, E flat, G, G, B, G sharp, C, A, C sharp, B flat, D. That basically facilitates you practicing all keys across the entire neck, and I think that's useful. The example 2, kind of the same thing, a little bit more elaborated. You're going down in F. From F, you're actually moving to B flat. From B flat, you're moving to G. Then you're moving to C. Then you're moving to A. Then you're moving to E. B major, E major. Once in E major, we start going backwards. So from E major, we're going to B flat, B, D flat or C sharp, A, B, G, A, and we're back in F, and at that point we can cycle it. The way it works is sorry. C sharp, E, and then we're going back. Yeah, back in F, right? Shape of B, shape of D, E. And you can just cycle that, okay, and it gets you through several keys. Now, last but not least, we have exercises that are designed to facilitate horizontal transition between shapes, and by that I mean we're staying in the same key. So that's G, we're not changing key. A flat, A flat, A, B flat, B flat, D, C, C sharp, D, and now we're doing it in single lines. So the first exercise we have is it's just one line, but it's actually 3 different exercises. That's shape of B, shape of D, A flat, A flat, A flat. Maybe you do it twice, each one of them. exercise. We're taking advantage of what I call 3 notes per string approach that we looked in lesson 4. And when we're doing this particular arpeggio, bear in mind that's where your root note is. So now you have 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, or 1, 3. And the way I'm looking at that now is, instead of using this root note, I'm actually using this root note. So now I'm combined the two shapes in a way, okay? So I'm using 6 frets. One thing I was asking myself, if there was a way to avoid this pinky roll off here, and I came out with this. So we're taking a large advantage of the shape of E until here, and then we're playing root note and third. Okay, so in a way we're kind of using the full extension that we have. That's A flat. A. B flat. B. So now I'm exploiting everything I can find kind of around here. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3. So in a way, like, there are many different ways you could play this arpeggio like this. You could play this arpeggio like this. You could play this arpeggio like this. So for the playing side of things, we're gonna do pretty much what we did in lesson 2, shape of E arpeggios, where we spent time playing, obviously, as opposed to just practice. But we framed our playing, we limited it to only using arpeggio notes, okay? And in this case, we're also adding a little chord progression so that we can also practice the transition. And I thought, maybe this case to do it in A, we're gonna play like maybe the 2 bar of A, kind of like this, and maybe 2 bars of F sharp, okay? Let me move this. So that's F sharp, okay? Major 7. Just spend some time playing, and try and use the arpeggios as much as you can. Try and stay with the limitation. Obviously, like, it's not always easy, and do it at the speed that is suitable. You'll find the PDF with the exercises I'm suggesting in the link, of course. In the video description. You'll find the link. And, well, it's a lot of work, I realize, after, this is the first installment, and there is already probably 30, 40 pages of PDFs to study, but take your time, and hopefully you're learning something, and that's the entire point of it, right? Okay, it's been a pleasure. See you next time.